The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
And good morning, Kern County. It is 5 a.m. on this Friday. Across Ukraine this morning, many are still without power, and officials in the capital city of Kiev say 70% of residents have no electricity. The country was pounded Wednesday by Russian airstrikes that targeted energy facilities. Ellison Barber reports from Kharkiv.
When Russian forces fired a barrage of missiles at Ukraine, the impact was instantaneous. Fear and then darkness. Russia's Ministry of Defense claims Wednesday's attack targeted the military control system of Ukraine and energy facilities related to it. But the people now combing through the rubble, waiting to collect water and looking for warmth, are civilians in survival mode.
We don't have cell phone coverage, we don't have internet. We have a truck with humanitarian aid coming to Kharkiv. We can't get in touch with people in the warehouse.
This is a frantic effort to turn the basement of a church into a warming center. Ultimately, all of this, it won't be necessarily warm, but the goal is that it will be bearable. Right now, this stove, it is the only source of warmth in this basement.
Strength and health are enough to get through these moments, Ahana tells us. Survive and then remember it, like a bad dream. Out of the darkness and bitter cold, Ukrainians like Ahana are coming together and finding strength. There is more heartfulness, she says. We all get together, eat, cook on a fire, look at the Ukrainian night at the starry sky, and I think that this makes us stronger. Ellison Barber, NBC News, Kharkiv, Ukraine.
And in our 17 follow-up file this morning, Delano Police Chief Tyson Davis tells 17 News officers have arrested a man they believe is responsible for multiple hate crimes against a local church. 33-year-old Kyle Lewis Sison of Delano was taken into custody Wednesday. Sison allegedly spray-painted derogatory and racist remarks on the New Allen Chapel AME Church on at least 3 separate occasions. The first incident happened in July. Sison will be booked into the downtown Bakersfield jail on hate crime and vandalism charges.
13 elementary and middle school students from Lamont have qualified to compete in a prestigious cross-country meet in Tennessee, but they need your help to get there next week. 17's Karen has the story.
Running means a lot to me. I loved running since I was little. I never gave up the running opportunity. I just kept on going forward, and now I'm here.
Rodrigo Guerra and 12 other students from the Lamont School District are traveling to Tennessee next week to compete at the Amateur Athletic Union National Cross Country Championships in Knoxville. But they're seeking the community's help as they haven't raised all the money they need.
They are all required to meet a $475 monetary requirement, and most of our students are not able to give those $475. So those $475, the $6,000 in total, it is going to go towards their flight, their hotel stay.
Eileen Hernandez says being a cross-country runner has opened many doors for her.
I never gotten this opportunity to be on an airplane or go running a far distance, but I feel very great about myself because it's my passion, and it's I've been running ever since I was in first grade.
Meanwhile, the team's cross-country coach Maria Gonzalez says nationals is more than just a race.
Cross country is all about a growth mindset and really being able to work past that pain, and I think it really teaches them life lessons. So I do think that this is an opportunity that they have, and if we're able to make this possible for them, it'll just allow them to go to different places.
For Guerra, bringing back a trophy means not only a victory for the team, but also a victory for Lamont.
It feels great to represent Lamont. If we accomplish doing it, then everyone's gonna know me and they're gonna say, oh, that's the kid that won. And I'll be, yeah, that's me.
1, 2, 3, Lamont!
All right, now the students still need about $3,500 to reach their goal. So if you'd like to donate, you can contact the team's coach, Marisa Gonzalez, at 559-670-0157. Let's get them there.
We would love to see them get there. Absolutely, yeah.
Measles is making a comeback, and it is worrying health experts. The World Health Organization and the CDC say measles is an imminent threat in every region of the world. There were about 9 million cases, resulting in 128,000 deaths globally last year. Much of that can be traced back to a major drop-off in measles immunizations, weak disease surveillance, and delayed response plans during the coronavirus pandemic. The WHO and the CDC says a record number of children, nearly 40 million, missed their measles vaccine dose last year.
Meantime, rising cases of the flu, RSV, and COVID in some areas are already straining schools and hospitals, but it's also making things even harder for parents who struggle to find affordable childcare. Kathy Park has the report.
1, 2, and 3.
Michelle Irizarry stepped back from her part-time job and into a full-time role as stay-at-home mom when the high cost of childcare just didn't add up.
How much were you paying? How much were you looking at? It would have been $2,340 a month for both kids, which is more than our mortgage now. I'm in the process of building a business, and it's really tough not to have the option of like a committed childcare option.
Experts say she's not alone.
Given the cost of childcare, which ranges anywhere between 20 and 30% of a household budget, it makes sense that parents might decide someone should just stay home and care because it might be more financially feasible for the family.
Last month, a record 104,000 Americans missed work due to childcare challenges. Many families being pushed to the brink with kids out sick with the flu, RSV, or COVID. The outbreaks are happening as daycare centers and public schools nationwide struggle to stay fully staffed. When infection soared earlier this month, some school districts in Tennessee and Kentucky shut down.
We were sending a lot of children homesick. We just got to the point where we just couldn't sustain being in school.
Experts say to avoid the child care crunch, expand your search area to include more towns and zip codes. Consider getting on a wait list because openings can come up unexpectedly. And ask your network of friends, neighbors, and coworkers for suggestions. Across the country, a balancing act for parents caught between finding care and high costs. Kathy Park, NBC News.
And here at home, the emergency room at Memorial Hospital has been impacted by an influx of sick kids experiencing a variety of viruses like RSV. Catherine Harker, the director of pediatric services at Memorial, says they're seeing about 150 kids every day. She says that while RSV symptoms are usually mild in older kids and adults, younger kids are more susceptible to more severe cases.
For babies, it can be a little bit more significant. They can have difficulty breathing, really high fevers. And so those are things that you probably, parents need to bring them to the emergency room. If they see things like difficulty breathing, high fevers, a bluish tint kind of to the skin, those are reasons to come on into the emergency room. If your child's just experiencing a runny nose or a cough, a low-grade fever, those are things that probably a pediatrician or an urgent care can handle, and parents are welcome to take their children there.
Harker stresses the importance of washing your hands, getting the flu vaccine, and staying home when you're feeling sick, even as we approach the holidays, to stop the spread of respiratory viruses. Thanksgiving Eve kicked off one of the busiest four-day stretches of the year for restaurants everywhere, but in the Old Town Kern section of East Bakersfield, that is especially the case. 17's Robert Price with the story.
Thanksgiving weekend is huge for Old Town Kern restaurants. Pyrenees, Wool Growers, Arizona Cafe, and especially Luigi's. Basque and non-Basque alike, it's big. The Wednesday lunch crowd at Luigi's was more like a Friday or Saturday crowd. Owner Gino Valpredo sees the phenomenon play out every year.
Our biggest day will probably be Friday with all the college kids. I mean, we got a smattering of them in here today.
Cooper Bridge is in town from Long Beach for Thanksgiving at his in-laws' place. Why did he and wife Lori choose Luigi's the day before the feast?
There's a few hidden gems in Bakersfield. Luigi's is definitely our number one, so whenever we come back to visit, we always find ourselves here for lunch.
At Wool Growers, the lunch crowd was typical, so-so for a Wednesday. But just wait till tonight for the big reunion. Joe Coscarat has been bartending here for 30 years.
We got people from Arizona, from Texas right now, from New Mexico, and they come from all over. You know, it's a family reunion.
Every Old Town Kern restaurant has its own distinct vibe. At Pyrenees Cafe, the blue-collar lunch crowd will give way to old friends and live music Friday night. Pyrenees server Delaney Griffin is looking forward to it.
The night before Thanksgiving, you know, a lot of the families come into town, you know, to do their big Thanksgiving thing. So we're the big break before they have to do their family stuff tomorrow.
Arizona Cafe, one of the oldest Mexican restaurants in town, was feeling it too. Owner Oscar Ramirez is glad customers choose his place for reunions, but he's even happier to see his own family get together again.
Everyone gets together. My sister's, you know, she's back, and, you know, it's good times.
On this long Thanksgiving weekend, it's all about family, it's all about hometown, it's all about memories, reliving old ones, making new ones. And Old Town Kern is the place many choose to experience it.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.